You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And today in the house we have Rocket and the Renegades. Good afternoon, Rocket. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thanks, Fred.
Give us, our listeners, a little bit of history, how you started as an artist.
Well, I've always been a major fan of music, starting with Teenage Head, and then when I sort of met up with the Shakers, that's what did it for me. I knew, I said, I have to learn how to play music. And Tim Gibbons, actually, from the Shakers,
Yeah.
he's the one who took the time and effort to teach me those few chords. And from there, at age 21, I just started writing.
Wow.
It started back then.
Yeah, he's played an instrumental role in Hamilton, as a musician and as a singer.
Oh, absolutely.
And, for myself, he goes back to the day of when I was at Grand Avenue Studio back in 1976. His name was flying around then, and, he's still flying around, and congratulate him immensely on his work. So, yes, and now you're living in Dundas, and you're
The big thrill for me.
Originally from Hamilton.
West Hamilton, yes. So I went to Westdale, and grew up in the West End.
Give us a little bit of history about, Rocket, where you started from, and where you are up to today.
Well, like I said, at 21, I was actually living in Toronto, and Tim taught me those few chords, and I started playing around, and I would even busk just for fun on Yonge Street. I had a lot of nerve. And then, I moved back to Hamilton, and I was in one band. My first band was called the Hucklebucks, but I wasn't the lead of the band, but I was, in a band, and that was, pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And that's after the, the Chubby Checker song called the Hucklebuck. That's where I got the name.
Well, let's move on here, and let's listen to the first tune that we have, Born in the Hammer by Rocket and the Renegades.
Born in a hammer, born to rock and roll. Born in a hammer, it saved my soul. I was born in a hammer, it's a dirty town. Bad news follows you around. It ain't much to brag about, but some people, they really knock me out. Born in a hammer, born to rock and roll. Born and raised in a bungalow on the west side, Born and raised to fend for myself. I don't rely on nobody else. May not sound like much to you, but I mean everything I say and do. Born in a hammer, born to rock and roll. Well, true what they say about the Steel City Blues. I got 'em, baby, right down to my boots. True what they say, yeah, it ain't no lie. I know people who'd rather die than be born in a hammer, born to rock and roll. Twisted child on a Saturday night. Born in a hammer, that's a cross I bear. You can look at me and stare. May not sound like much to you, but I mean everything I say and do. I was born in a hammer, born to rock and roll. Yeah, it's true what they say about the Steel City Blues. I got a baby right down to my boots. True what they say, yeah, it ain't no lie. I know people who'd rather die than be born in a hammer, born to rock and roll. Born in a hammer, born to rock and roll. When you're born in a hammer, you're born to rock and roll.
You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And in the house today, we have Rocket and the Renegades. Rocket, tell us a little bit about Born in the Hammer.
That's a song that I wrote a long time ago when Hamilton wasn't such a cool place to live, according to a lot of other people. And hence sort of some of the lyrics in there. And I was fortunate enough to have Rick Andrew of the Shaker fame. He sings back vocals on that song.
Cool.
And I actually recorded it in his basement at his studio there, Valley View Studios.
Wow.
And his son mastered it. So it's all, it was pretty exciting.
It's really got that rockabilly, rock and roll, country. I just find a lot of roots in what you're doing, and that's special.
Oh, thank you. I've only ever played an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
So I don't really know any different.
Wow. Okay, let's move on here to One More Year by Rocket and the Renegades.
All 4 seasons somehow came and went. I'm left with memories a lifetime spent. Kids who grew up, same neighborhood. We stuck together through bad and good, and it's been 1 year. It's been 1 more year. More like a brother than a friend to me. You left your mark on a whole city. I'll never forget on the day you died, 'cause I ain't never seen more grown men cry. It's been 1 year. It's been 1 more year. It's been one more year. It's been 1. But a hobo friend of mine speaks of you in her eyes shine, and we laugh when we speak your name. And I know I'll never be the same. So many things still remind me of you. Old Rolling Stones and high-cut Converse shoes. Your razor sharp wit, brave and funny till the end. I was always so proud to call you my friend. It's been 1 more year. It's been 1 more year. It's been 1 more lonely year. It's been 1 more year. 1 more year. 1 more year. 1 more year.
You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And in the house today, we have Rocket and the Renegades. And that was Rocket. Tell us a little bit about One More Year.
That's a song for a friend of mine, Randy Steele. He was a big musical influence on my life. We knew each other from kindergarten on. We grew up in the same neighborhood. And, he introduced me to the Modern Lovers and old Rolling Stones. And we were in our first band together. And he was a big influence on me. And that song's, all about him.
Yes, Randy
and,
had quite...
a lot of people relate to it, even if they don't know him.
Yeah, Randy had a lot of history with CHCH, as we recall, and very well known in the city. And I just loved what he did for the city by... He was there,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He was fabulous. He also brought the Flamin' Groovies here back in the 80s. He promoted a Teenage Head show back in the 80s. Just had his own little production company, put on the shows. Very entrepreneurial spirit and very creative person.
Very creative. Okay, let's move on to the last song here. Best Revenge, and this was what was written for Randy Steele by Rocket and the Renegades.
Broke my heart when you quit the band. How'd I get involved in your love life, man? It's got nothing to do with me, nothing to do with me now. I used to think you were the most, then you broke us up with a Facebook post. Ah, what a douchey thing to do. You know it's true, but the best revenge. Oh, honey, you know I know it well. Best revenge. I'm not gonna tell you to go to hell, cause the best revenge. Oh yeah, living well. Best revenge is living well. Thought she was my new best friend. She only wanted my ear to bend. Played out some drama, now she's gone. She ain't around now, your ego's bigger than your goddamn head. I'm not blind and I'm not dead. You made your own bed, now lie down. Lay right down, cause the best revenge. Ah, honey, you know I know it well. The best revenge. I'm not gonna tell you to go to hell, cause the best revenge. Oh yeah, living well. Best revenge is living well. Oh yeah, the best revenge. Oh honey, you know I know it well. The best revenge. I'm not gonna tell you to go to hell, cause the best revenge. Oh yeah, living well. Best revenge is living well. Oh, the best revenge. Best revenge. You know the best revenge. Best revenge. The best revenge. Living well. Best revenge. Best revenge. Best revenge. Best revenge. The best revenge. Living well.
You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls on Ontario, Canada. And today in the house we have Rocket and the Renegades. Yeah, that was an excellent tune. Really loved that. And I just wanted to thank you for being on today's show. Excellent. And keep up the great work.
Oh, thanks, Fred. I'm happy to be there. That last tune, Best Revenge, is really about my bass player when he left the band. Yeah. The bass player I had before my new one. So that was sort of an ode to him. All my songs are autobiographical. People always say, "Oh, don't get her mad." So there you go, Fred. Stay on my good side, and I'll write you the best.
Don't worry, I will. No. You have a great day, and thanks a lot.
You as well. Thank you for putting me on. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Part 2, folks, coming up. You're listening to IWW Radio, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Have a great day.